Several years back, I helped in the delivery of Elusive from Hawaii back to her home port in California. Elusive was in the 1987 Transpac race. Every odd year, in June, many boats of different sizes and classes race from California to Hawaii, challenging their sailing and navigational skills. It's a traditional sailboat race that has been in existence for over 100 years. It was during this delivery that I found the bottle. It was August 22nd, 1987, the day I found the bottle. The sea was dead calm with no clouds to block the sun. The flatness of the sea made it easy to find floating objects. Earlier, we were able to find a few Chinese glass fishing floats, which I was told are valuable to collectors. Skipper Jerry and I were on watch. When I was preparing to go below to write down our position, course, and distance made good, I looked toward the bow hoping to see some more dolphins because several hours earlier I was on the bow watching dolphins play in our bow wake. That's when I noticed the sun's reflection off the bottle about 50 yards out and a few degrees to port. Jokingly, I yelled to Jerry, "Hey, look, there's a bottle with a note in it." At that distance, I really couldn't tell if there was a note, but I knew if I got Jerry's interest, he would go over to investigate. We retrieved the bottle on the second pass with our fishing net. To my amazement, there was indeed a note in the bottle. Before breaking the bottle open to redeem our prize, I asked Jerry if he would take a picture of me holding the bottle. I knew if I told this story it would be hard to swallow without a picture to back it up. The message was written in 3 languages, English, Spanish, and another language that I was not familiar with. The English and Spanish were difficult to read because the sun's ultraviolets had removed the ink from the note paper. The other language was readable, but what language was it? Now we'll have to wait till we get home. Karen, Jerry's wife, exclaimed, "As a matter of fact, it's Norwegian." Karen is of Norwegian descent and can speak and read Norwegian. Karen deciphers the note.
Some words, and tell me where you found this. Tell me a little bit about yourself. I should be delighted. I am a housewife, 28 years old, only passenger on board, and I have thrown it into the sea on my way out of Japan, bound for Panama. I am Norwegian. I have light blonde hair and blue eyes. My address is 8178 Halsa, Norway.
1 week after arriving home, I sent a letter to Norway, but received no reply. Over the years, I sent several more letters, but always with the same results. How long was the bottle floating around the Pacific? For all I knew, it could be over 50 years ago when the bottle was first launched off the ship. It's been 13 years since I found the bottle. Many times while cleaning up my navigation and marine information, I'd come upon the note. I kept the note in hopes that someday it would find its way home to its Norwegian author. Okay, ready for this? Several years back, I created a marine do-it-yourself website. I receive emails from all over the world asking questions about boat building and boat maintenance projects. I received an email from a fellow named Olaf in Norway. In my reply to him, I asked him if he could locate Vigdis, the woman in the note. 2 days later, Olaf sent me a reply. "Hi, Bob. Her name is Vigdis Viget. She still lives in Norway, up north. Her address is, her phone number is, she is now around 50. I talked to her on the phone. So it's the right woman. She would love to hear from you. Regards, Olaf." I sent Vigdis the original note that she had written, a chart indicating where I found her bottle, a picture of me with the bottle, and a reply to her 24-year-old message. It was a good feeling to be able to tell Vigdis my sea story. I hope she has fun telling our story to her family and friends, as I have. I received a reply from Vignes, and I thought I would share it with you.
Dear Bob and family, thank you so much for your nice letter with picture, map, and my old message. It was really amazing. I am both happy and surprised. I can't believe that you have held on to this story all these years. You can imagine how surprised I was when your friend Olav called me. And I wonder why I didn't receive the letter you sent me earlier, even though I had moved. Maybe there has been some kind of misunderstanding. Also that your friends Jerry and Karen tried to contact me here in Norway without any luck. Maybe I was on holiday or at work. Well, you sure have put in some effort to reach me. A lot of things have happened in my life since I threw the bottle in the sea. At the time I wrote the message, I was married. It was my husband at that time who translated my Norwegian into English and Spanish. Me and my husband got divorced in 1987, so that's why I moved. I'm not so good in English. I understand quite a bit and also speak some, but to write it is worse. So I have asked my niece, Wanja, to help me write to you. Well, back to the message in the bottle and its history. My ex-husband was a sailor and sailed abroad. I was on a visitor trip with my husband and was on board for 3 months. It was a large boat that carried cars from Japan over to the States and Norway. We had been in Nagoya, in Japan, loading the boat with cars, and were heading down to Panama with destination Norway. After what I can interpret from my old message, the boat must have been 4 days from Nagoya on the way to Panama when I dropped the bottle into the sea, and it had to be in the end of July 1976. The boat's name was Argus. I had written MS Argus on the top of the letter, but the MS part is missing. I was not alone on the boat. I must have written it wrong in some way. The boat held a crew of 20, and we were about 8 people on a visitor trip. It is funny to think that the bottle lay in the ocean for 11 years before it was found, and it's almost amazing that it didn't break on any of the reefs or reach land. I guess it was meant to be found, and the pictures you sent me of you holding the bottle with all the scales on it is going to get a place of honor in my living room. I live in northern Norway, about 120 kilometers from Bodø, which is the closest city. I am 52 years old and have 3 children, Merritt, 32, Roy Victor, 30, and Arnstein, 23, and I also have 7 grandchildren. I work as a cook on a ferry boat that transports cars and people over the fjords and out to some small islands. I'm not married, but have a fiancé named Olav. I have worked on the ferry for 17 years, and my work schedule is I am on board for a week at a time, and then I have 1 week off. Well, now the mystery of the message in the bottle is solved. I am enclosing some pictures of me and my family and hope to hear from you again soon. Best regards from Vigdis.
Somehow it's hard for me to think that the internet is such a new idea. The internet of today is not much different from the network of sailors who met in the Mediterranean Sea, shipping their goods from all over the Eastern world and sharing their stories. An information waterway network of concepts, new thoughts, and new ideas. Ships brought these navigators together. Now it's a cable, radio waves, or a pair of twisted wires connecting us all together.